What if I told you that the stories we consider myths contain deeper truths that could redefine our history? Could humanity's greatest secrets be hidden in myths we never dared to question? Today we take you into the world of the Anunnaki, those mysterious beings from the annals of the oldest civilizations. But our journey goes beyond just decrypting ancient legends. We delve into the connection between the Anunnaki, the secret of gold, the Kabbalah, and a discovery that changes everything, the story of Medusa. Join us on this fascinating journey that has the potential to reshape our understanding of the past and present. Before we dive deeper into the mysteries of the Anunnaki, it's important to clear up a widespread misconception. Many consider the Anunnaki as alien visitors from a distant planet. However, the picture we paint today is fundamentally different. Our journey takes us not to the stars, but deep into our own past. The Anunnaki, as we understand them, are deeply rooted in the history of humanity, woven into the fabrics of our oldest civilizations and traditions. This video aims to offer a different perspective, one that sees the Anunnaki not as foreigners, but as central figures in the development of our world. In this context, we would like to point out the work of Chris H. Hardy, DNA of the Gods. Hardy provides a fascinating insight into the role the Anunnaki may have played in the genetic shaping of the human species. His research supports the thesis that the Anunnaki have not only intervened in our civilization's history, but may also have influenced our biological development. Have you ever wondered what influence the Anunnaki had on the formation of our civilization? And what does that mean for our future? This understanding sheds new light on the relationship between humans and the Anunnaki, and emphasizes the complexity of our origins. It is crucial to understand that within the Anunnaki civilization, a clear distinction existed between the elite and the general population. The elite, possessing advanced technologies, did not use this knowledge for the benefit of all, but to consolidate their own power and expand their wealth. These technologies, ranging from life extension capabilities to impressive constructions, were kept from the masses. Imagine a time when monumental buildings touched the sky and golden light shimmered in the halls of kings. The world of the Anunnaki. Gold was not just a sign of wealth, it had a significance that went far beyond the material. But what role did it actually play in the relationships between humans and the Anunnaki? Instead, ordinary people were kept in a form of modern slavery, exploited for the extraction of resources, especially gold, and for the construction of monumental structures that stand today as witnesses to that bygone era. This exploitation and oppression of the masses by a technologically superior elite reflect a pattern that continues into our present day, where inequality and the concentration of knowledge and power in the hands of a few remain critical issues. The story of the Anunnaki thus teaches us not only about our past, but also about the challenges and dangers associated with unequal power dynamics. Next, we turn to the Kabbalah, a mystical school whose roots may reach back to the Anunnaki. Its secrets could shed light on ancient knowledge that still echoes today. The Kabbalah, this profound mystical work, connects us in a unique way to the legacy of the Anunnaki. It serves as both a gateway to spiritual enlightenment and a path into the abyss of moral transgressions. The Kabbalah reveals the dualistic nature of the Anunnaki, their outstanding achievements on one hand and their devastating failures on the other. These writings make it clear that the technologies and knowledge of the Anunnaki were a double-edged sword. They enabled the rise of great civilizations, but also carried the risk of their downfall. Especially notable are the genetic experiments of the Anunnaki. Their endeavors to create and alter living beings reflect a deep understanding of science and technology, yet were marked by dangerous hubris. By creating giants and interfering in the genetic heritage of Earth's inhabitants, they attempted to transcend the fundamental order of life. These actions, driven by the desire to acquire divine powers, culminated in their divine punishment, the flood, seen as a direct response to their transgressions. The Anunnaki were also masters of longevity technology, explaining their seemingly endless lifespan. This extraordinary ability led the people of that time to worship them as gods, as they survived generations and thus remained immortal in collective memory. In this context, Helena Blavatsky cannot go unmentioned, whose writings bridge the ancient wisdom of the Anunnaki and modern esotericism. Her research confirms the deep spiritual and cosmic connections our civilization shares with the Anunnaki. Thus, the Kabbalah serves as a comprehensive guide that not only imparts spiritual insights, but also reveals practical applications in technology and governance. It illustrates the consequences of misusing such knowledge and how the Anunnaki were punished for their attempts to disturb the divine order. Their story is a cautionary reminder that attempting to emulate divine powers comes with profound spiritual and moral risks. And now we come to the story of Medusa, a narrative that could be much more than just a Greek myth. What deeper meaning might lie behind this mythical figure, and how can it help us understand the echo of the Anunnaki? Among the numerous legends surrounding the Anunnaki, the story of Medusa stands out, a being that is half woman, half snake. This figure, often misunderstood and depicted as a mere monster, might actually be a result of the experimental ventures of the Anunnaki. The discovery of a sarcophagus in the Basilica Cistern in Istanbul, an ancient cistern complex in Istanbul that today serves as a museum, during the research under the Ottoman Sultan Abdülhamid II, sheds light on the deep entanglement of the Anunnaki with our world. This sarcophagus, believed to contain the remains of Medusa, not only confirms the historical presence of the Anunnaki, but also the far-reaching effects of their interventions in natural life. The Basilica Cistern in Istanbul, with its deep water-filled halls and ancient sculptures, tells of a time when myths and reality were closely intertwined. It serves as evidence of the Anunnaki's complex interventions in our world and allows us to view history through the eyes of those who might have had direct contact with these mythical beings. The creation of Medusa, interpreted as an attempt by the Anunnaki elite to demonstrate their power and superiority over the human population, became a symbol of their undeniable dominion. This display of power aimed to enforce awe and subdue the population, a reflection of abilities and knowledge that went far beyond human comprehension. Yet, this demonstration of power was not without consequences. The story of Medusa and similar creatures could be seen as an overstepping of the natural order, an act of hubris that ultimately led to divine punishments, a recurring theme in the narratives about the Anunnaki. These tales warn of the dangers of arrogance and the attempt to venture beyond the limits of life. The Anunnaki, those mysterious beings from the depths of our past, have left their mark across numerous cultures. From the Sumerian clay tablets to the Egyptian pyramids, to the lost realms like Atlantis, the stories of the Anunnaki and their influence on humanity are deeply embedded in history. Their deeds, often seen as the direct cause of cataclysmic events like the flood, the destruction of Atlantis, or the defeat of the Pharaoh by Moses, serve as cautionary examples of the limits of human hubris and the importance of living in harmony with cosmic laws. Interestingly, it is reported that the Anunnaki survived the flood, not because they were in Atlantis at the time of the disaster, but in Mesopotamia. After the sinking of Atlantis, they are said to have founded the civilization of the Sumerians. Despite the loss of some of their technology, they aimed to regain their knowledge. Their goal was to claim their position as gods among humans once again through technological superiority, as suggested by depictions on Sumerian tablets. However, history repeated itself. The flood in Noah's times, the fall of Babylon, and finally the Egyptian pharaohs being brought down by Moses are examples of the cyclical struggle between divine punishment and human or divine hubris. Each time the Anunnaki attempted to solidify their status as gods, a disaster followed that thwarted their plans. Interestingly, in modern times we find parallels to the deeds of the Anunnaki. Modern science has made it possible to intervene in life at the genetic level. From the manipulation of living beings to the modification of food, a wealthy elite equipped with technologies that are inaccessible to the masses appears in a light strongly reminiscent of the stories of the Anunnaki. The question now is whether we will be able to learn from the mistakes of the past, or if we are doomed to follow the same cycles of hubris and divine punishment that have shaped our history since the dawn of time. The search for traces of the Anunnaki is more than just a look into the past. It is a quest for our own origin and future. What do you think about the Anunnaki and the mysteries they have left behind? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you want to learn more about the secrets of our history, subscribe to the channel and share this video.